Everything was perfect, absolutely, completely fairy tale perfect. The sun was shining just for me, I was sure of it. It streamed through the big church windows, making everything glitter. My dress was a cloud of white silk and lace. It rustled when I moved. I felt like a real-life princess. My heart was doing a little happy dance inside my chest. I was about to marry Mark, sweet, reliable Mark. He was my rock, my future. I took a deep breath, smelling the lilies and roses that filled the air. This was it, the first day of the rest of my life. I couldn't stop smiling. My bridesmaids were fussing over my veil. "You look stunning," Chloe squealed, adjusting a tiny bit of lace. "Just breathe," said another. But I was breathing just fine. I felt light as a feather. All the months of planning, the stress over invitations, the cake tasting, it all melted away. All that mattered was walking down that aisle. Mark would be waiting for me. He would have that lovely, gentle smile on his face, the one that always made me feel safe. I imagined our life together, quiet evenings, Sunday morning papers, growing old together. It was a beautiful, calm picture, and it was all about to begin. I peeked through a little crack in the door of the waiting room. I could see the guests filling the pews. Everyone looked so happy. My mum was dabbing her eyes with a tissue already. Classic mum. I saw Mark's parents waving at someone. My stomach did a little flip, a mixture of nerves and pure excitement. I clutched my bouquet of white peonies so tightly, my knuckles turned white. I had everything I had ever wanted. A wonderful man, a beautiful wedding, a future that was all planned out. It was solid, it was real. What could possibly go wrong on a day like this? The music started to swell. It was my cue. My dad came and offered me his arm. "Ready, sweetheart?" he asked, his voice a little thick with emotion. I nodded, my throat suddenly too tight to speak. I was more than ready. I was floating. As we stepped out and all eyes turned to me, I felt a wave of pure joy. The light was almost blinding. The faces in the crowd were a happy blur. And at the end of the aisle, there was Mark. My Mark. He looked so handsome in his suit. My feet started moving, one step at a time, towards my forever. We were in a small, quiet room just off the main hall, right after the ceremony. We were officially married. Guests were finding their seats for dinner. Mark had gone to check on something with the caterer. I was just taking a moment to myself, touching my new wedding ring. It felt heavy and important on my finger. And then the door opened. I looked up, expecting to see my mum or one of my bridesmaids. But it wasn't. It was him. It was Leo. My heart didn't just stop. It felt like it fell right out of my body and landed on the floor with a thud. Leo. I hadn't seen him in 2 years. Not since our messy, tearful breakup. He looked older, but exactly the same. The same dark, messy hair. The same intense eyes that used to see right through me. He was wearing a simple, dark jacket, not wedding clothes at all. He looked so out of place. "Leo?" I whispered. My voice was a tiny, shaky sound. "What are you doing here?" I couldn't move. I was a statue in a very expensive white dress. My brain was screaming a million questions at once. How did he find me? Why was he here? Why now? He didn't answer right away. He just looked at me. His eyes traveled over my dress, my hair, my face. It felt like he was memorizing me all over again. "You look beautiful, Lily," he finally said. His voice was the same deep, quiet rumble I remembered. The voice that used to tell me stories and whisper secrets in the dark. A flood of memories rushed over me. Late night drives with the windows down, laughing until we cried over silly jokes, arguments that ended in passionate hugs. It was a whole other life. A life I had locked away in a box and buried deep, deep down. "You shouldn't be here," I managed to say, finding my voice again. It sounded stronger than I felt. I felt like a fraud, a bride, a wife, standing here talking to the man who had once owned my whole heart. My hands started to tremble. "This is my wedding day?" He took a step closer. I should have taken a step back. I should have called for Mark. I should have screamed. But I didn't. I just stood there, frozen. as this ghost from my past walked back into my life on the one day he was never, ever supposed to. "I know," Leo said softly, his eyes filled with a sadness that mirrored my own shock. I had to see you. I had to tell you I was sorry for everything." His apology hung in the air between us. It was the apology I had waited years to hear, the one I had cried myself to sleep over, the one I eventually gave up on ever receiving. And now here it was, on my wedding day. It was cruel, it was unfair, it was everything. I felt a tear escape and trace a path down my cheek, probably ruining my perfect makeup. I didn't care. He took another step, and then he was right in front of me. He smelled the same, like rain and something uniquely Leo. He gently reached up and wiped my tear away with his thumb. His touch was electric. It was fire on my skin. My whole body remembered him. Every cell, every nerve ending screamed his name. This was the hand that had held mine. This was the touch I had known better than my own. Mark's touch was kind and steady. Leo's touch was a wildfire. I should have pushed him away, but my arms felt like they were made of lead. "Don't cry," he whispered, and then he leaned in. It happened so fast, I didn't have time to think. He kissed me. It wasn't a long kiss. It was just a brief, soft press of his lips against mine, but it was enough. In that single moment, the entire world shifted on its axis. The perfect, stable, sensible world I had built with Mark crumbled into dust. The kiss was full of regret, of longing, of unspoken words, of a love I thought was long dead. It was a final, heartbreaking goodbye. Or maybe it was a hello. When he pulled away, we just stared at each other. The kiss had changed everything. It was like a switch had been flipped inside me. All the feelings I had so carefully packed away came bursting out. My love for Leo wasn't a memory anymore. It was here. It was alive. It was breathing in this tiny, quiet room with me. And it was 1,000 times more powerful than the calm, comfortable affection I felt for Mark. I loved Mark. I did. But this was different. This was the kind of love that rips you apart and puts you back together again. And I had just married someone else. My mind was a whirlwind, a tornado of confusion and panic. Mark. Sweet, dependable Mark. I thought of his kind face, his patience, the way he always remembered to buy my favorite brand of tea. Our life together would be peaceful. It would be happy, in a quiet, comfortable way. He was a safe harbor. He was everything a smart girl is supposed to want. He was my husband now. I had made vows to him, in front of everyone I knew and loved. I had promised him forever, less than an hour ago. How could I even be thinking these thoughts? But then there was Leo, my great, passionate, chaotic love. He was the storm. He challenged me, he frustrated me, he made me feel more alive than anyone else ever had. Our love was a brilliant, blazing firework. It was beautiful and thrilling, but it had also burned out spectacularly. He had broken my heart. He had left. Could I trust him? Could I throw away a perfectly good future for a man who was a beautiful, dangerous risk? The kiss had woken up the part of me that loved the storm, the part of me I thought I had grown out of. Leo was still looking at me, waiting. He wasn't pushing. He was just there, a question mark standing in the middle of my life. "I have to go," I whispered, my voice breaking. This wasn't a decision I could make in a second. This wasn't a choice between two men. It was a choice between two different lives, two different versions of me, the sensible, stable woman who had walked down the aisle, or the girl who still believed in wild, all-consuming love. I looked at my wedding ring, and then I looked at Leo's face. My heart was being pulled in two directions. I took a deep breath. "Go," I told Leo, my voice firmer now. "Please, just go. I need time." He nodded slowly, his eyes full of pain, and then he turned and walked out of the room, leaving me alone. I sank into a chair, my big white dress pooling around me like a fallen cloud. I didn't know what my future held. I didn't know if I would walk out that door and continue with my reception, or if I would have the hardest conversation of my life. But I knew one thing for sure. The perfect, simple future I had imagined this morning was gone, and in its place was a choice. My choice. And for the first time, I felt a strange, terrifying sense of hope.